If you're jumping into GTA Online after the Oscar Guzman DLC and you feel overwhelmed by the sea of vehicles, don't sweat it. Today, we're breaking down every vehicle you need in 2025 as a solo player. Whether you're grinding CEO cargo missions, fighting griefers, or just running heists. From the Kasatka to the Raiju and even underrated beasts like the Iron Mule. We're covering in order what you should be buying after the new DLC. Stick around because I'm revealing a secret vehicle at the end that'll change everything for you. So let's get right into it. Everyone already knows the armored Kuruma is a bulletproof icon in GTA Online. But is it still as good as it was now in 2025? I have a secret strategy I use to level up my alt accounts, and it definitely includes the Kuruma. However, it isn't the first vehicle I pick up as a solo player. That's because there's a free underrated armored beast that's slept on, the Duke of Death. New players, listen up. This thing's a tank capable of handling 5 homing rockets, but in the recent update, it got Amani tech for just 400,000 smackaroos. You can get a missile lock-on jammer, making it the cheapest buy-in to Amani tech. But wait, there's more! Don't blow all your cash yet. This is where other lists are going wrong. The Duke of Death is the last thing you want to put Amani tech on, because if you complete the Dax missions as the leader, you can unlock the strongest Amani tech car, which usually costs $2.9 million for free! Just use the Duke of Death against NPCs until you unlock the Kuruma. Then go for the Virtue, continuing to use the Duke of Death for free mode until you've added Amani tech and armor to the Virtue. But we're not ready for PvP right now, so that can hold off for now, and I'll explain why the Virtue is so much better later. The Dax missions are super great for beginners though, with a ton of other bonuses, so that's why I recommend going for this so early on. Plus, you get an insanely quick car at a low level. So despite the buffs to the Duke of Death, the Kuruma is still the best for heists at this price point, costing 525k. But we're not done, because for number 7, I'm putting in one of the most overlooked vehicles in GTA Online. Meet the final form of PvE dominance. The Vigilante! Oh yeah! This thing has insane homing missiles, rocket boosts, and here's the kicker. It works in heist preps. Yeah, unlike the Torado or the Oppressor, this bad boy's mission ready. And guess what? It's cheaper than the Mark II Oppressor. 3 million versus 8 million? Come on. One con is that it only has 30-something rockets, but all you have to do is return it to storage and recall it again. By the way, a huge tip is to make sure you stare at the ground, because vehicles spawn where you're not looking at. And bam, you got all your rockets back like that. And anyone crying, but the Oppressor! Nah. The Vigilante's rocket boost and the fact that it has the strongest homings in the game shaves minutes off missions. Just look at how easy this is. I can now take out all these NPCs like nothing. One catch though, you need a vehicle workshop, an MOC, Avenger, or an arena workshop. If you're workshopless, skip it for now. But trust me, once you roll in, this will be your grinding cheat code. Hold up. Don't get tricked by other lists pushing the Terabyte in 2025. Let me tell you, the Terabyte is going to cost you over $5 million before you're going to get any of the solo play benefits added in the Agents of Sabotage update. But for just 2.2 million, you can grab the Kasatka! For a solo player, the Kasatka is an absolute must. Our strategy so far is going to benefit far more by going this route. The Kasatka gives you access to Cayo Perico, giving you a heist you can solo grind early on with our Vigilante. You're going to speedrun preps like a pro. But here's the real gem. The Kasatka is going to give you access to the best solo helicopter in the game, which is going into my number 6 spot. The Sparrow. This thing's fast, agile, and storable in your Kasatka. You want to spam missiles? Go ahead. You want to instantly respawn your Sparrow? We got you. It's basically a GTA Online cheat code. And this will definitely be our go-to for getting from point A to point B on the map. Way faster than the Vigilante. For 1.8 million, you can go flex on tryhards, ignore yacht defenses, and if it gets blown up, it'll be back in 2 seconds. I genuinely use this all the time, and it's been the most versatile chopper for some years now. We're halfway there, so if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because we're almost at 200 billion subscribers on this channel. and you could be what helps us to reach it. So yeah, please drop a like, subscribe. Me and my pet Rock Sush will totally appreciate that. All right, number 4. Let's talk grinding smarter, not harder. You got your Kasatka, you got your Sparrow. Now it's time to grab the Terabyte. Why? Because Rockstar has been trolling us with the CEO cargo missions that takes 20 minutes to deliver 3 crates. Nah, we're good. For 1.37 million, you could get a mobile command center that lets you grind warehouse cargo in half the time. This is because a few years ago, Rockstar added new crate missions that were super tedious and annoying. But the Terabyte's mission pool, they don't offer those. Not only that, but resupplying with the Terabyte is significantly faster anyways. And guess what? You already have the Sparrow to speedrun setups. But don't waste cash on upgrades yet. Drone station, weapon workshop, skip them. You don't need them until you're swimming in that sweet oppressor money. The only upgrade I take right now, the Master Control Terminal. Control all your businesses from there. Alright, this Terabyte is great for grinding, but if you were to fully upgrade this thing, how strong is it? I'm talking 34 rockets, and with Bureau Tech upgrades, you can add a missile lock-on jammer. So they probably aren't hitting many of those rockets in the first place. Speaking of missile lock-on jammers, the Terabyte's 500-meter missile lock-on cannon completely ignores Amani Tech, chafes, and flares. Yeah, your Virtue or Night Shark, useless against this beast. And with silent running, you're off radar when standing still or when in the back. Perfect for escaping Raiju Jets or Deluxo Griefers. What makes this the strongest tank support class vehicle in the game is that you can add the drone station. And you've got invisible trolling on tap. Sneak up on tryhards and make him rage trying to find you. $800,000 never felt so evil. If you're playing with friends, you can use the drone as recon, giving updates and scoring kills when tryhards hold corners with rockets. Honestly, if you haven't already, check out some vids of mine. You can literally do the same thing. It's super easy and it's a fun way to getting back at these gremlins. But beware of the Savage. Its explosive cannons will shred you if you're caught. And although the missiles ignore all jammers, they aren't the best at hitting their target. At this point, you should have the spare cash to unleash the Oppressor Mark II. And I gotta say, this is still the best pickup on GT Online years later. Yeah, I told you to skip this early, but now with your Terabyte unlocked, it's finally worth it. And let's break down why. For solo grinding, it's easily the best pick. It's the Sparrow and Vigilante strengths put together. Although I don't use it as much as I should, I gotta say for 90% of fights, this thing is brain dead OP. For PvP, this is the air to ground choice. Against other vehicles, you're gonna want to pick this up against Kanjali tanks, Avengers, helicopters, and buttloads of other vehicles. Just don't be a crybaby wimp when you're about to get destroyed by a Deluxo. Now, if you learn how to go upside down in this thing, by the way, you're probably almost invincible. Only thing you're gonna struggle with is the pressure the Raiju can potentially put on you, even upside down. It can keep locking on and pushing you away, but you'll probably be fine. Granted, you're never taking out a Terabyte or anything super armored regardless, but it's not like they can get you either. Just be beware of stalemates. And now, before we get to number 1, I'd say it's finally time for that upgrade. Now, last year's pick would universally be the Night Shark, and I still see YouTubers telling you to buy it in 2025. However, it just isn't worth it anymore, and that's because of our free Virtue. Didn't think I'd forget, did ya? Listen, this thing can tank 12 missiles and has Amani Tech. This thing alone puts it above the Night Shark in my opinion, but this thing is also insanely fast. Players are gonna struggle to hit you, and you can get to sneaky positions way faster. You won't need another Amani Tech or tank vehicle other than the Terabyte, so don't bother. Upgrading our free Virtue is gonna cost $660,000, far cheaper than even the base Night Shark, with no upgrades, which is 1.2 million. The better car is also cheaper. Stop buying the Night Shark. And for number 1, I'm actually going to split this into planes and helicopters. You'll see why when I'm done. But at this point, you've gotten the essentials and you should now be buying based on your playstyle. So let's get right into it. Settling the jet debate. The Raiju, it's the ultimate tool for air control. Perfect for team play, saving your squad from oppressors, helis, deluxos. But for solo players, I'd actually say skip it. This thing isn't for securing kills. It just hardly has the damage for it, leaving plenty of time for players to eject. Am I saying it's bad? Not at all. Borderline undefeatable in the air, but you aren't going to be getting kills a lot of the time. Unless the person you're dogfighting is bad or stubborn. For solo players, the plane you want is one with versatility, power, and strength. That's why I recommend to pick up the B11. It's got bombs, barrage missiles, homings, chafes, flares, and the best armor in the air for a jet. You're gonna get far more usage out of this than the Raiju. You can even mimic the Raiju stealth with an out of sight if you have an agency. For 3.8 million, you can take home the B11. Far cheaper than the Raiju's $7 million price tag. And if you already have the Oppressor Mark II, the Raiju only for its speed isn't worth it. Now these vehicles are great. However, I think for helis, you're gonna be surprised at what you can do with these. And not to mention my secret vehicle, which is the Iron Mule. I know what you're thinking. Putther, that thing's useless. No! You're wrong. This thing can pick up sail missions cargo, all nightclub vehicles, all vehicle cargoes, all hangar ground sails, and a lot of stuff from the bunker. For you guys who are only interested in grinding, you want to pick this one up. But for those who are wanting PvP, I gotta say, the best solo helicopter in the game by far for PvP, it's the Akula. It has the same stealth mode as the Raiju, except it can actually secure air-to-ground kills fairly easy thanks to its barrage missiles. However, if you're playing with friends, use the Hunter. It's the best duo to air-ground vehicle in the game, in my opinion. An honorable mention, super underrated, you gotta pick up the Savage to deal with these pesky tank class players. I don't recommend maining the Savage though. This thing is slow and is basically just a counter pick vehicle. So that's it for my top 10 list of vehicles new players must own in 2025. This is all in my opinion, but what do you guys think? Do you disagree with my list? Do you agree? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like. We're almost at 10 trillion subscribers and 5 jillion likes. So yeah, I'd appreciate it. Bye.